Hey, what's going on, guys? Goose here, man. Coming back after the video, and I wanted to go over the college football coaches poll, preseason poll. The preseason polls, they come out every year. I think they're garbage. I think they come out way too early. But I get why they do it. It's a talking point. Gets people talking about college football. Gets people talking about the polls. It gets people upset when you're ranked this team's ranked this way, this team's ranked that way, and it's just a conversation starter. I think preseason polls are garbage. They shouldn't happen, but like I said, uh, it's a conversation starter for one. Yeah, so college football season in 2020, are they going to be competing for that trophy back there behind me? Who knows? Hopefully they do. Um, I like college football. I like, even if LSU doesn't win this season, if they have a college football season, I still like watching the national championship game. But let's go over the college football poll because look, it's the same song and dance. It's the same top. When you see the top, top 10. I mean, it's the same teams over and over again. When somebody else going to step up and at least top four anyway. But anyway, so number one is going to be obviously going to be Clemson. Clemson had 38 first place votes. Of course, they went to the national title game last year, lost to LSU. They returned Trevor Lawrence, Travis Etienne, so they have a lot of talent returning. And more importantly, they have their starting quarterback and starting running back. That's why they're ranked high. Number two is going to be Ohio State, another team. They're returning Justin Fields, great quarterback. That's another reason why they're up there in this top two teams in the country. Ohio State went to the semifinals last year, lost to Clemson. Clemson lost to LSU. All right, so next on the list, number three is the Alabama Crimson Tide. They lost Tua Tagovailoa went to the draft. Jerry Jeudy went to the draft, but they still have no. They allow Mac Jones got some playing time last year. They're really high on him. Of course, they have Nick Saban. I mean, Alabama year in year out. I mean, they recruit, they plug players in. Players graduate, and they're always in the top four every year. So I have no problem with that. Number four is Georgia. Georgia. Jake Fromm went to the draft. Of course, they got Jamie Newman. A lot of Georgia fans are high on Jamie Newman. I guess we'll see if there's a season. We'll see if he's what Georgia fans make him out to be. He went to Wake Forest. We'll see what he has. I mean, they all think he's better than Jake Fromm, but I guess we'll see, right? So Georgia is ranked number four. Number five is your defending national champions, LSU. As LSU actually has six first-place votes. Georgia doesn't have any first-place votes. So it's really surprising that LSU has gotten six first-place votes with everything they've lost. They lost Joe Burrow, Justin Jefferson, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Thaddeus Moss. You look on the defensive side, they lost Patrick Queen, Joker Phillips, Michael Divinity. They lost a lot of players. Christian Fulton, Grant Delpit. I mean, he goes on and on. They lost a lot of players into the NFL draft. And the reason why they won the national title last year is because they had a lot of NFL talent on that team. So it's going to be interesting to see what players that they plug in because look, LSU recruits well too. They still have Jamar Chase, Terrace Marshall. The running back core is good for LSU. So interesting to see what LSU does this season if we have a season. It's all going to come down to Miles Brennan, in my opinion. It's going to come down to Miles Brennan and he's not going to be what Joe Burrow was last year. He's not going to throw for 60 touchdown passes. But hey, look, can he throw because it's a shortened season, so can he throw for 20? Can he throw for almost maybe, like I said, it's a shortened season, so it's kind of hard to dictate to know what kind of stats he's going to put up. All right, so next we got on list is Oklahoma. Oklahoma is number 6. Oklahoma went to the semifinals last year. They lost LSU. They lost. Was Jalen Hurts really the loss for them? Because I think the quarterback, Spencer Rattler, I think that's his name. He's very highly rated for Oklahoma. They recruit year in, year out. They've been to the semifinals a lot in the college football playoff history. They played Clemson. They played Alabama. They played LSU. Just haven't broken through won one of those games. They actually played Georgia. So that was the closest game when they played Georgia a few years ago. Next on the list is the Penn State Nittany Lions. Penn State. They're supposed to be one of the better teams in the Big Ten. But I think I saw the starting linebacker is opting out for the NFL draft. Curious to see what other players will do that. But Penn State's supposed to be a very, very good team and probably will give Ohio State their toughest challenge this year if they indeed have a season. Next on the list is the Florida Gators. Florida Gators is a lot of people's sexy pick to win the SEC East and maybe win the SEC because they have their starting quarterback is coming back. His Trask is coming back, and they got Pitts as the tight end. Florida, they're another team. They recruit very well. Florida's a hotbed for recruits in the country. Florida, number 8. Number 9, we have the Oregon Ducks. Now, Oregon Ducks, they lost Justin Herbert last year to the NFL draft. But Mario Cristobal is actually, if you go check out what he's doing down there over in Oregon, he's recruiting well. They coach well over there. And curious to see how they replace Justin Herbert because they're probably going to be the favorite in the Pac-12 as they won last year in the Pac-12. Next on the list is Notre Dame. Notre Dame ranked number 10 in the country. When is Notre Dame going to do something and actually win a big football game? It's been a long time since Notre Dame actually won a game that mattered. It's been a long time. Probably since the 1990s, probably since the Lou Holtz, end of Lou Holtz era, since they won a game that actually really mattered. I think it was the Cotton Bowl they won back in the 93 season. All right, next on the list is the Auburn Tigers. Auburn Tigers ranked number 11 on the list. Auburn Tigers, they're good. They got Bo Nix coming back as their quarterback. He'll be a sophomore this year, so Nix will be the quarterback for Auburn. And Gus Malzahn, he seems to have one year he does well. They come back the next year. Everybody predicts that they do good, and they fall on their ass and they don't do well. This might be a year Auburn does that because for one, they play Alabama and Tuscaloosa, and when Auburn plays Alabama and Tuscaloosa, they usually don't have a good season. It's when they play When they play Alabama at home is when they win that game and they have a good season. All right, next on the list is we have the Wisconsin Badgers ranked number 12. Wisconsin went to the Big Ten title game last year, lost to Ohio State. Wisconsin's another team that's always up there in the top 10, top 15, always every year. So Wisconsin coming in at number 12. Number 13 is the Texas A&M Aggies. Texas A&M, they're one of the schools in the SEC West that's returning their quarterback. Could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. I guess we'll see. Is Kellen Mond coming back for his senior year? But they're one of the very few teams in the SEC West that's returning their starting quarterback. Next on the list is the Texas Longhorns, ranked number 14. Is Texas back? We hear that every year. Texas is back. We've been hearing that for quite a while now, and Texas still hasn't come back. But the Texas LSU is supposed to play this year in Baton Rouge, and that game got suspended because of what's going on in the country. But that would be a big game for Texas if they had gone on and beaten LSU in Baton Rouge. It could have catapulted them maybe to the higher thing. Could have catapulted them to championship aspirations if they had won that, like LSU had won last year at Austin. All right, next on the list is we have the Michigan Wolverines, ranked number 15. When's Jim Harbaugh, other guy? When's Jim Harbaugh going to win a big game? When's he going to beat Ohio State? He hasn't beaten Ohio State yet since he's been a coach. Probably won't be this year. Going by what Ohio State has coming back. So Michigan ranked number 15. Next on the list is the Oklahoma State Cowboys as Gundy. Gundy still has a job. He had a lot of controversy with him wearing a T-shirt and all that. But Gundy still has the job at Oklahoma State. He's done a very good job. He took over there after Les Miles went to LSU back in the 2005 season. He's been there. He's been there for a while. Had some job offers, didn't take them. Stayed at Oklahoma State. Had a chance to go for the national championship in 2011. Lost that game to Iowa State. That really hurt Oklahoma State's chances in the 2011 season to get to the BCS title. Our next on the list we have the Southern California Trojans, USC. USC, another school that's really fallen off since since Pete Carroll left. Pete Carroll left there. They went on probation, and it's taken them a while to really build back that football team. Big year for Kelton at USC. I mean, a lot of Trojan fans didn't want him back. They felt that he not the right guy for the job over there. Ed Orgeron was there. They could have hired Ed Orgeron. Could their fortunes have been different if they hired Ed Orgeron? Who knows? But it's a big year for USC if they indeed have a season, because I think if they don't play for the Pac-12 title game, I think the Pelton's days are numbered over there. All right, next on the list is the Minnesota Golden Gophers. As rowed a boat is PJ Fleck. Minnesota had a great year for their standards last year. They won 10 games last year. They beat Auburn in the Outback Bowl. Yeah, I think it was the Outback Bowl or the one of them. I think it was that bowl. But anyway, so they beat Auburn in that bowl game, and I mean, can they build on that? They're ranked number 18, so obviously the coaches don't feel too highly of them because they were close to the top 10 last year, but when they finished the season anyway. So can PJ Fleck do it again? Can he row the boat and get Minnesota? Because they were close to winning that. They get to the Big Ten title game. They lost to Wisconsin last game of the year, which was going to be for that Big Ten to see who plays for the Big Ten title game. All right, next on the list we have the North Carolina Tar Heels. Mack Brown. Mack Brown is doing a phenomenal job over in North Carolina. Probably should have beaten Clemson last year. I think they outplayed Clemson last year, but Clemson just made the plays at the end. They stopped on a 2-point conversion at the end of the game. I thought was a good decision to go for it. Maybe the play call could have been different in that game. I think the decision to go for it to win the game was right for North Carolina. Just didn't work out for him. So Mack Brown, I think he's going to have North Carolina competitive, very, very competitive next few years. He was there before and built them up. All right, next list we have the Utah Utes. Utah, of course, they went to the Pac-12 title game last year, lost to Oregon. They were replacing a lot over there at Utah, so Kyle Whittingham's been there forever. I'm curious to see how they gonna move forward and all the talent they lost last year. They had a very, very talented team. They were ranked close to the top 10. They lost some games late in the year, and so. All right, next list is the Central Florida UCF, ranked number 21. As here comes the first team that's not in a Power 5 conference. Is the Central Florida Knights. Of course, they went undefeated back in the 2017 season. They claimed the national championship. So they've I think they lost 2 or 3 games last year. So but they recruit well. They're in a conference which they can win they can pretty much win every year in the American Athletic Conference, but they didn't win it last year. But curious to see how Central Florida does this year. In I think the year 3 of Josh Heupel. 2018 was his first year. Year 3 of Josh Heupel. All right, next on the list we have another team, and from a group of 5 is the Cincinnati Bearcats. They played for the American championship last year and lost to Memphis. As they come in ranked number 22, Luke Fickell. Luke Fickell is going to be a hot name eventually. I think he'll get a Power 5 job somewhere. Whenever these jobs open up, somebody's going to open up. Especially if we don't have a season. Especially if we have a season this year, and no teams don't perform. So Cincinnati ranked number 22. 23 is the Iowa Hawkeyes. Iowa always seems like every once in a while Iowa comes out of nowhere and they win 10, 11 games. Kirk Ferentz, it seems like every once in a while they just burst out. A few years ago, they were undefeated and they were ranked number 4, and they went to the Big Ten title game, and they lost. But every once in a while Iowa seems like they just burst out of nowhere. And they're in the top 10, and they're competing for the Big Ten title. Could this be one of the years Iowa does that? We'll see. Next on the list is the Virginia Tech Hokies. Virginia Tech, 24. And Virginia Tech, although about 10 years ago, they were in the top 10 every year. As they seem to have fallen off past several years. Can they get back to once they once were? Is when they were always competing for the ACC title, and they were in the top 10 because for a while they were always in there for the ACC title and in the top 10. As Frank Beamer was a good coach for them for a very long time. And closing out the top 25 is the Iowa State Cyclones, as they're 25th in the country. As another team that every once in a while they beat in Oklahoma, they'll beat somebody in the Big 12 they're not supposed to. So Iowa State finishes at the top 25. So yeah, I'll put a link in the description and of all the of where you can find the poll. And let me know what you guys think. Who's going to win the national championship this year? Like I said, that's a video. That's a topic for the video that I will hopefully put out. Hopefully I'll make that video. Hopefully we'll find out that college football will be played, and I can actually make that video and predict who's going to be in the semifinals, who's going to be in the finals. Have a great one, guys. I'll see you guys next time.